Do you invest your own money in the deals?
Yes.
Okay. So each VC or Knights decides they put in a certain amount. Is there like a minimum or a maximum?
No. So that's another thing that's quite different between Shark Tank is, and for each Knight that's up there, it's different, right? So like you've heard Brock. Brock was one of the guys who helped co-found Tether, and he was behind Block One, which did EOS, the largest fundraise for any blockchain project. So everyone invested off different balance sheets. For me, it was all angel checks from me myself. So we also have a fund, and our fund didn't deploy anything. It was I didn't have the authorization from my other investment committee to make those kind of decisions. Ali, on the other hand, from Blockchain Founders Fund, I believe all the deals that he did were through the fund directly. Brock, I think, were half and half, and Nikita, when she did hers, it was I think her own capital. But here's another big difference between Shark Tank and CryptoKnights is in Shark Tank, you have much more attractive valuations, right? So these guys are coming in and they've got 3 restaurants set up already, and they've proven product market fit in the few neighborhoods. And now they think they want to take it nationally or something, right? Or you got someone who's created a new little tinkering project and he wants, Lori's help to put it on QVC or whatever. And so these guys are coming in with like $1 million valuations, $500,000 valuations, and they're only able to accept check sizes of $100,000, $200,000. Maybe once in a while you see where it's $500,000 they can accept or something. In our industry, and a lot of these projects are coming and they're trying to not appeal on a regional level, a city level, maybe a state, but they're actually open to a global market. So when you have a DeFi project or a game or something, they're marketing to the entire globe. And so the potential market size is much bigger, which often allows for usually what the traditional world would see as an unreasonable and unrational valuation. And I think that us as an industry need to do a better job at checking these projects. And I think that the valuations were way too high for way too long. And this was started oftentimes by SBF, FTX, right? So Alameda Research, Sam Bankman-Fried, notoriously, along with other big tier 1 VCs from America, would notoriously come into projects and they would scoop up these really talented founders from Stanford and Oxford and Harvard and all these other ones. And they would make the first investment in the company, right? And then they would own the rights to previous investment rounds. They would structure the whole fundraising round. And so they would come in very cheap. And then they do the next round at 2-3x what they invested into. And that would be all their friends who are other tier 1 VCs or, notable investors, build the cap table, make it look really strong. By the time it got to the last private round, it would be 6-10 times what the first round got in at. A lot of times these guys would actually sell those on the open market, like sell those on the market, their investments, to get out of the deal before it even went public. And then they would sell it to the public at 20, 30, 40 times what these early investors got into. So that started this huge overvaluation of projects. And I think that one of the things that I'm working on, I know Ali's working on, is we're trying to work with founders to get those valuations much more reasonable, because
what the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals. And that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week. And for me, that was huge, because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
You're actually doing yourself a disservice by raising the bar super high before you prove product market fit and revenue, and you try to get to a fair valuation. What ends up happening is all those early investors take profit, and all the influencers and stuff encourage people, the retail, to go try to buy the investors' bags, and they get crushed because the investors start selling on the retail, which kills the community sentiment, which in crypto is pretty fatal to a project. And so they're doing themselves a disservice. And so, but the point, all the way back to your question, was on CryptoKnights, they were often raising more. Like Han, which we both invested into from Blue Whale, I believe there was $1 million or $750,000 possible. So all the Knights were able to come into that round. And we had a few deals where all Knights invested into it. And even on the ones where, for example, Brock said, I'll take the whole round, he still then backed up, tiptoed backward and said, well, maybe it's valuable that Kyle comes in because he can help with the tokenomics. And maybe Ali can come in because he can help. Maybe Nikita can help with the marketing, for example. So it was a bit more, you had less of the drama of the sharks and Shark Tank fighting over the deal. In this one, there was other drama in other places, but I do think that maybe we should structure that a little bit differently in season 2, because we also want to make good TV. And I think part of Shark Tank is watching the sharks argue with each other over these deals.
Can you lowball the vows like they do on Shark Tank, where say Han was raising at 60 million, you could say, no, but at 30 million, I'll give you this? Or was there none of that going on?
No, we did. Yeah, I mean, when you watch the show, you'll see there's one project that was raising, I forget what it was, but I basically offered him $100,000 for 10% of the company, and they laughed. But I also wasn't interested in coming into the deal largely. I thought that them as developers had good potential, but I thought that they were missing the business acumen to grow the company. And so what I wanted to do was try to come into that company. And because they also had sufficient runway, they had raised like $3 million already. So I thought that they could afford the capital to go and hire an amazing CEO or someone that could operate the business side of the company while they focus on the development. So, but what I saw on stage was not investable in the current state. So I lowballed them a lot. They declined the offer. That's fine. There was a couple more that I lowballed, like 50% below what they were asking. I believe they accepted after doing due diligence, though. That's one thing that people should know, is that if we committed on the show, it doesn't mean that we ultimately ended up investing. Why? Because they only get 45 minutes or an hour to pitch us. In real life, due diligence often takes weeks or months. If you really want to do good due diligence, you need to check financial statements, bank statements, code, things like that. And so the yes on the show was the indicator that we needed to go and start doing due diligence and see if the deal was made. And so there was a few deals where I said yes on the show and ended up not investing. I don't want to mention those now. I don't know what the rules are of what I'm allowed to disclose on that either, but I'll just say that.
Yeah. Well, congrats on that. People can go watch it now on Amazon Prime. Is that the best place?
Yeah. Yeah. They told us that not to say Amazon Prime. They said Prime Video is how they're branding it.
Oh, yeah, of
like
course.
The Amazon Prime's video service is called Prime Video.
Yeah. And they have a separate app for that too, which is kind of cool. So no, Prime Video is decent actually. And now you're taping the second series this summer as well.
Yes.
Amazing.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.